keep looking this way. I'm looking out my window because there's supposed to be a severe weather coming. But let's get through this, shall we? We shall. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I already filmed and edited this video, but as many times as I exported it, the sound was messed up. And it was fine in the editor, but when it's exported, it was kaput. And I exported that video like 10 times. So now I'm just gonna do it this way, and we're gonna go quick through it. Okay, so I wrote down here my hand-dated notebook and categorized it because I didn't do a wrap up in February. And in February was the Black-a-thon, so we're gonna start there. So the first book I read for the Black-a-thon is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and I gave that book a 5 out of 5 stars. I love the writing, I love the dialogue, the character development, the story. It was so good, and I feel like everybody knows about this because it was turned into a movie, and it's a really huge story from book and movie. It's such a good movie. I loved it, and I watched it after I read the book, and I love everything about the book, and I can't wait to read more Angie Thomas books. The next book is The Wicked and Divine by, I forget who, but I put it up right here. It's a graphic novel comic book. Who am I? I don't know. But this is the second comic or graphic novel. I don't know the difference between the two. It's about like gods are pop stars and the pop stars are gods or whatever. And everybody's obsessed with them, and like camera crew are interviewing them. And like something like is happening, like brewing in like the world of the lords, and someone is a bad person and they're trying to like fight the bad person. I didn't like this comic book. I don't think comic books or graphic novels are for me. They just are like meh to me. But I did like it. I didn't like it up until the chapter, I think it's chapter 5 and on, then I liked it. But I did give this book, or graphic novel, 2 out of 5 stars. The next book I read for February is Pride by Ibi Zoboi, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, and I loved it. It's a remix and a different take on Pride and Prejudice, obviously, and it shows like the two like different sides of like Darcy. He comes from a more privileged family, and then Zuri is from like more of the cultural, but like not preppy as Darcy is, and like her sisters are fawning over them. She has such pride, it got really annoying. But the character development was good, the writing was good, the story was good, I loved the dialogue, everything was good, I love the book. But I felt the pride that Zuri had was kind of overwhelming to where it made me roll my eyes a lot. But I do still really love it, and I do want to read more Ibi Zoboi books. And the next and last book I read for the Black-a-thon and in February is an anthology, and you'll probably know what it is, Black Enough, by a lot of different authors, but it was edited by Ibi Zoboi. And I loved all of the stories in here, besides like maybe 3, because like some, I think 2 just like kind of felt flat for me, like it was boring, but I got the message. And another one was just gave me weird vibes, and it just But all in all these stories are like, are you black enough? Yes, you're black enough. Are you worthy of your heritage, of your culture, where you come from, where your ancestors come from? Yes, you are. No matter where you come from, privileged or not privileged, like, you are worthy. You are black enough. Nobody can tell you that otherwise. That's the message that the anthology was giving, and I loved it, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And next is March, and that was the month of Buzzword-a-thon, and I read 4 books. That's 3 4 books, but one wasn't included in the Buzzword-a-thon. It was a book I read after the Buzzword-a-thon. The buzzword for the month of that Buzzword-a-thon words was who, what, when, where, how, and why. Yeah, sorry if I'm talking really fast, it's just, there's a lot of books and I'm trying to get through it, so it just doesn't end up to be long. Creepy. So the first book I read for Buzzword-a-thon was actually an audiobook, and it was The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Hegel. I can't pronounce her last name still. But it's about this girl who her father and like their crew have a ship, and they like time travel and jump like to different universes, and her mom dies, and they're trying to get to the universe back to where they can save her from dying because they found like a cure, which they had to go through another parallel universe portal to jump through to get the cure. And then the main character, I forget her name, she's worried that like if her dad and her go back in time, she won't be born, but he's like, yes you will. He's like so adamant on it, and I was really let down by this book. I thought it'd be more adventure, action-packed, like the sensation of going through the portals in a ship. It just felt really flat for me, and the pirate talk really just went over my head. Like I had no idea what they were talking about, and the accents kind of were difficult, where I had to slow down the time for, because you know everybody listens to a faster pace for audiobooks. And I kind of had trouble deciphering like two different characters, but they were just one character, but two different names. It was confusing, but it's a series and I will not continue it. But I did kind of enjoy it, but it just fell flat for me. I gave it like a 2 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is a contemporary romance book, which y'all know if you've been here for a while that contemporary romance books are not for me because they're just kind of like fall flat and boring to me. But this book I really did like, and that is When We Collided by Emery Lord, and it's about like these two kids from totally different ends of spectrums. Jonah is like the calm, like the leader in his family because he has a huge family and his father died, so like they work together, and like Viv is like this ball of energy. And I feel like you wouldn't think they would come together, but I feel like they do complement each other out. Like she gives him life and he calms her down, but then she has mental illness, she has bipolar disorder, depression, mania, I think. And we see both sides of the character story point of views, and Viv kind of drove me nuts because when it interacted with her and her mom, and then she was going through her manic episodes, like I get it, I can't judge it, but it kind of annoyed me. But it's mental illness, it's depicted, because everyone has a different version of mental illness, of mania. But I thought it was really good. I can't say if it was a good depiction of the mental illness because I personally don't have that, but I didn't think it was viewed in a negative way. And I really love the dialogue, the writing, and the character development. The character development was so good. And I really did like this book. It was so good. It had me tearing up at the end. And I never do that while reading books, especially contemporary romance books. But I did love this book, and I give it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I do recommend it. The next book I read for Buzzword-a-thon I actually have with me, and that is What You Hide by Natalie D. Richards. And this is like a thriller mystery. It's a young adult thriller mystery. Can I talk? No. This girl, Mallory, she's homeless because she doesn't like her living situation with her mom and her stepdad, who's abusive, and she refuses to live with him, so she spends her time at the library until it's closing. And then this guy, Spencer, he has to do parole time, community service at the library because he did like a stunt of climbing the library or whatever, and he got caught. And he's like the golden boy, the football star, and his parents are like, what has happened? Where do we go wrong? And like they become friends at the library, and then there's something spooky and sinister happening at the library that they try to figure out what it is. And this book is very predictable. And the ending, I saw it coming, but I wished it wasn't going that way, but I knew it was going to go that way. It was inevitable. But it was cute. I wasn't really expecting much from it. And I gave this book, what did I give it? I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars because I said the ending, predictable, not where I thought it was going or how I wanted to go, but it was still good nonetheless. So those are all the books that I read for the Buzzword-a-thon. The 3 books I read, Where, When, and What. And that is Spirit Bound by wow. Spirit Bound by Michelle. Get together, Jess. Spirit Bound by Rochelle Mead. The 5th book in the Vampire Academy series. When it's just gonna hit me. This book, I loved it, but I wish it would have gone a better direction. It was still good, but I felt like the series, the beginning of the series and the ending of the series, I kind of feel like it went down in like the quality of the characters' development, their morals and values. Do y'all hear that? Thunder. And the story direction went, I just thought it could have been a lot better, but I loved it nonetheless. And I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, because y'all know how I love my Vampire Academy books. So for April, the books I read in April, I read 2 books in April, and the first one is, but it's the last book in the series, and that is Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead, and this is the 6th and final book in the Vampire Academy series. And like I said about Spirit Bound, same thing. Like, it was good, but I just expected like more quality of the story. I'm still good nonetheless. I love the characters, dialogue, writing, characters. Did I already say that? But I still loved it nonetheless, if that makes any sense. And I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, and this is a hefty book. The next book is, I have to get my Goodreads app out because I'm not gonna just explain it off the top of my head because this is a very complex book. But that is Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. And this book, my friend recommended it to me. She was like, you should read this. It sounds like up your alley. It's weird. It sounds like something you would read. And I looked at it because I saw it at the library. I'm like, it's okay. Read the description, But I listened to the audiobook of it, and it's not something I would read, but with like the twist of like the weirdness on it, and kind of, it's not parallel universe. It's something though, like something from a different dimension, like a rip in the veil and like ellipse, because the guy died, something like that. Let me just explain to you. Success, England. A middle-aged man returns to his childhood home to attend a funeral. Although the house he lived in is long gone, he is drawn to the farm at the end of the road, where, when he was 7, he encountered a most remarkable girl, Letty Hempstock, and her mother and grandmother. He hasn't thought of Letty in decades, and yet as he sits by the pond, a pond that she claimed was an ocean, behind the ramshackle old farmhouse, the unremembered past comes flooding back, and it is a past too strange, too frightening, too dangerous to have happened to anyone, let alone a small boy. 40 years earlier, a man committed suicide in a stolen car at this farm at the end of the road. Like a fuse on a firework, his death lit a touch paper and resonated in unimaginable ways. The darkness was unleashed, something scary and thoroughly incomprehensible to a little boy. And Letty, magical, comforting, wise beyond her years, promised to protect him no matter what. A groundbreaking work from a master. With a total rare understanding of all that makes us human, shows the power of stories revealed, shelter darkness inside out. So it is very strange, very complex, but I really liked it. And the audiobook was really good, but it was so strange, but I liked it. I'll just keep saying that because that's the only thing I can say about it. Like, the writing sounded good to me because I listened to it on the audiobook. The dialogue was good. It was just a fascinating story. Very strange. And I liked it, but it's not for everyone. I will say that. But I liked it nonetheless. And I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Next is the books I read in May. And I read 2 books in May? Yeah. The first book I read in May, or I listened to because it's an audiobook, and that is One of Us is Lying by Karen and McManus? I think that's her name. The Breakfast Club meets Pretty Little Liars. When 5 strangers walk into detention and only 4 walk out alive. On Monday afternoon, 5 students at Bayview High walk into detention. Brownwyn, the brain, is Yale-bound and never breaks a rule. Addie, the beauty, is a picture-perfect homecoming princess. Nate, the criminal, is already on probation for dealing. Bird, the athlete, is the all-star baseball pitcher, and Simon, the outcast, is the creator of Bayview High's notorious gossip app. Only Simon never makes it out of that classroom. Before the end of detention, Simon's dead, and according to the investigators, his death wasn't an accident. On Monday, he died, but on Tuesday, he's planned to post juicy reveals about all 4 of his high-profile classmates, which makes all 4 of them suspects in his murder. Are they the perfect paste? Yeah. Basically it. It was very compelling and had me hooked with the audiobook. And I love how we got to see the different point of views from each of the characters in the detention room, and also Simon, the one that died. And it's just very interesting because I'm like, okay, he definitely did it, or she definitely did it. But it's like, wait, did he really? Or did I just not like this person? But I really liked it. It was very interesting, compelling, had me hooked, and I really want to read another one of Karen McManus's books. That's all I have to say about it. It was good. And I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So for the next book I read in May is another audiobook. I've been in a weird book slump lately, but it's only with physical books. Like, I can't get through and finish a physical book, but I can like fly through audiobooks. It's a weird book slump funk. I read Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. Everyone knows a couple like Jack and Grace. He has looks and wealth. She has charm and elegance. You like to get to know Grace better, but it's difficult because you realize Jack and Grace are never apart. Some might call this true love. Picture this, a dinner party at their perfect home, the conversation, wine flowing. They appear to be in their element while entertaining, and Grace's friends are eager to reciprocate with lunch the following week. Grace wants to go, but knows she never will. Her friends call, so why doesn't Grace ever answer the phone? And how can she cook such elaborate meals but remain so slim? And why are there bars on one of the bedroom windows? The perfect marriage or the perfect lie? I like this book. I got so engaged with it. It made me frustrated, it made me angry, it made me want to cry. And I listened to this on the audiobook from my dad's, which was in Indiana, to Chicago. It's like a 3-hour ride. This book, it's incredibly scary because this can happen in real life. But I was kind of disappointed in the end, in the outcome, because it kind of just like got to the point and then like drops right off. It's like, come on, you could have done such a better ending than that. Character development was so good. The writing was good, dialogue was good. It just was like, it had you hooked and it made you mad, made me mad, made me want to strangle someone. But it was so good on how clever Grace is and how the outcome was, but so frustrating too. But I did love this book, and I'm currently listening to another audiobook, and I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars only because of the ending of where it dropped off at. If it wasn't like dropped off right there and then and had some added on pages to the story, I probably would have given it a 4 out of 5 stars, but the ending really for me. So that is it for the books I read in May. So those are all the books from February until June? May. So those are all the books I read, and to be caught all up now on my book wrap-ups. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos by me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.